Hello and welcome to the Live Well, Be Well, a wellness show where we explore diverse ways to boost health, well-being and connection. Breathe, thrive and feel alive. My name is Deborah from Be Well with Deborah. I'm a wellness coach and laughter yoga teacher, and today your show host. The purpose of the show is to inspire and educate as we explore the many pathways to wellness together. Creating community and connection is vital for true wellness, and here we have the opportunity to listen to those doing incredible work in the wellness field, as well as individuals with inspiring stories of their own personal wellness journey. Creating community and connection is vital for true wellness, and my hope is that the insights and experiences shared here bring you inspiration, encouragement, and especially if you or your loved ones are facing any challenges on your own wellness journey. Today, I'm very privileged to have Jenny Sheehan in the studio. Jenny Sheehan is a vibrant and dedicated activities coordinator at Care Choice Montenotte Nursing Home, where she began her cherished member of being part of a member of her team for over 13 years in Montenotte. Jenny began her journey at Montenotte as a part-time receptionist, but her path took a heartfelt turn when she was invited to spend a day working in the activities department with the residents. That single day ignited a deep passion within her, inspiring a meaningful career change, one rooted in joy, connection and compassion. She now proudly works 3.5 days a week, bringing light and life to the residents through her creativity and care. Before joining Care Choice, Jenny spent 11 years at Royning Shipping as a receptionist and customs clearance agent, where her professionalism and warmth left a lasting impression. When it comes to her own wellness, Jenny loves to find the balance and peace through her love of gin and crystal healing, a unique blend of light-hearted indulgence and soulful energy work. Welcome to the show, Jenny. How are you today?
Very much. Very good, thank you, Deb.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. So we have you today on the show, and we're going to talk all about caring for the elderly and also how to care for ourselves when we're looking after maybe elderly relatives, be them at home, in the community or in a nursing home as well. So in your experience, what are some of the most important aspects of well-being when you're caring for an older person?
Well-being for myself?
For the elderly.
For the elderly, the first thing I would say is make them feel needed, make them feel involved and wanted. Always find something for them to do, and you'll always find something. Be kind, be patient, listen to what they're saying to you. Don't do what you think you would like them to do. Listen to them and what they want and what they'd like to do, and just go with them, be in the moment with them and enjoy them.
Beautiful, yeah, that sounds so gorgeous. Yeah. And can you speak into, like, say, I love the way there you said, go with what they needed, like, versus, like, cause I think maybe a lot of the times we think we want to, like, reach out and help them in certain ways, but like you say, just ask them what they need in those moments.
Yeah, like, suppose now we're doing bingo, and you ask every single person to come up to bingo, and it's loved, right? They love bingo. But if one person doesn't want to go, you can't continuously ask them, because if they don't want to go, respect their wishes, but find something else, or just say, listen, we're having bingo on Thursday, would you like to come down? And then go again the next day. Did you think about it? Maybe you'd like to come down with us, and gently encourage, but don't force anybody to do anything, because they might have never played bingo in their life, couldn't care less about it. You don't want them to force anybody to do anything. You want them to naturally enjoy what they're doing and be with their peers and have some fun. So that's what I mean. It's like, go with them. If it's something they haven't done all their life, what's going to change when they go into a nursing home?
You know. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's some really good tips there. And say, like, as an activities coordinator, the activities you plan, how would you support the residents' mental and emotional health through the activities that you create and oversee?
We do a wide variety of activities. So we do activities that will suit every single need. So if you're maybe you need assistance with reading, maybe you need assistance with holding a ball, and different things. You cater the activity to the residents' ability so they can feel involved and they don't feel left out. So you match the activity with the resident. So some people, like I say, love bingo. They can do their own cards. They can check their own numbers. They can call out. Other times you may need to sit with a resident loves bingo but just can't quite manage to see the numbers. Maybe so you'd help them. So somebody that wouldn't be sporty, let's try flower arranging instead with them. Somebody that is quiet, likes to look on, bring them out to the garden instead of having them in a big group and have your chat then. So it doesn't have to be very physical or noisy or big activity. Probably the best activity is one-to-one activity, just getting to know the resident and what they need and find something to suit their ability.
It sounds like you have a really lovely variety of activities going on in the home, and you've something for everyone, which I really love. Like, it sounds like you really nurture and you really care for the residents, and I can feel that like passion and that love as you speak as well.
We really do, and like we've some different activity, like we've the magic table, right? I love the magic table. That's not the official name for it, but it's a projector that projects images onto a table, so any resident can interact. They can move the leaves and they'll hear the leaves going, and the little bugs will come out. They can pop bubbles, but that little piece of equipment then was invested because we said we need something to engage people that aren't engaged in group activities. So we do get a lot of support in what we want to do, because I think now there's a better understanding of the needs for residents, and we're getting residents younger, so they're not all into knitting and gardening.
True.
So we need to just, every time we sit down, we have a think and we vary things up. And like we've 111 residents to
wow, 111
cater for over 4 floors. Yeah.
And you do such a great job as well.
We love it.
I'm curious to know as well, like, Jenny, is there any moments that stand out that bring you joy, like when you think back to the residents, like say activities, or even like a memory, or even a few memories where you're like, oh, the residents are in their joy, they're really enjoying things. Can you share and speak into that?
I think one of the standout memories for me is there's a lovely lady called Julia Buckley from Whitechurch, and she has a riding school, but she has a horse that is specifically for people with special needs. So she brought the horse up, but it was raining that day, and myself and the horse stood in the door and said, Susanna, she's the director of nursing, can we come in? She's like, really, Jenny? So we brought the horse into reception, and the horse stayed at reception, and we brought
oh my god, this is brilliant.
We brought all the residents down one by one, and their faces when they came
through
the door
and
saw
that.
the horse.
That's amazing.
And one Jenny was like, okay, have they changed my drugs, or is that a horse? We're like, no, it's a horse. The poor horse stood there for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And they fed him and petted him, and they still talk about it. They still talk about it. It was just, that was really standout,
Beautiful. Horses are so healing. Animals are so healing.
So therapeutic.
Gorgeous. So you've had a horse in. Do you ever get the opportunity to bring maybe dogs in, or dogs with special needs?
Yeah, we have a therapy dog, kind of house dog. But the person that the dog belonged to actually moved on to another position in the States. So obviously dog went with them. So what we've done is we've brought in animal magic, so they come in with different variety of animals, and the residents get to see them and hold them and learn about them, which is lovely as well. And they're a bit nervous at the start, and then they're posing with snakes.
Wow,
so it's fine.
With snakes. That's one for the books now. I must get a look at those pictures. They sound really intriguing. Pictured with snakes. Do you have one yourself? Picture with a snake?
I do. I don't like them, but I do, yeah. I wouldn't be hanging it on a wall,
Well done, fair play, Jenny. So in terms of like caring for the carer, then, because you're a carer and you do the activities and that as well, looking after others, I can imagine it can be deeply rewarding and deeply fulfilling. And I'd also imagine as well at times it can be quite draining. So I'm curious to know, how do you personally make space for yourself to recharge after maybe a really long, intensive, busy day?
I work with 4 or 5 fabulous people on my team. We have a small team, but a really good team. And at the end of a tough day, we'll sit in the office, we'll get a cup of tea, we'll talk it through, because sometimes only when you're in the industry you kind of really understand what's going on. So we always talk it out, we always chat about our day, good and bad, and even chat about the stuff that was upsetting. It helps. When I go home then, we always have dinner on the table, the four of us, Tony and the girls, and we chat about our day, and I'll tell them a little but not a lot. You know, you'd have to be careful as well of what you speak about. And then I will love my two dogs, we'll sit on the couch and we'll cuddle and we'll watch trash TV, absolute Housewives of Miami and all this rubbish. The Only Way is Essex, and just totally unwind. But I'll always at the end of every single day thank for and I'm grateful for. Thank you for getting me through this day, thank you for being there when I needed you today, and I just thank God, saying my little prayer and off to sleep.
Brilliant. Yeah, that sounds gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'd say there's probably days there when like having faith really gives you the strength, because I can imagine there's moments in that job that nearly bring you to tears, and maybe days that you'd want to tear your hair out. I'd say it comes with all mix of emotions, the joys, the highs, the lows.
Yeah, it does. There is a mix of emotion, but you always find in the middle of something tough, right, which we know it's going to happen, somebody will make it just howl laughing, and you just, for that minute, you're just okay. You're just all right. You're fine, and you just shake the day off, literally shake the day off when you can, and try not to take it home. You know, obviously there's going to be a little bit, like, you've cared for somebody for a number of years and they pass, you're going to be thinking of their family as much as you are of them. But then I just say to myself, you know what? You were there when they needed you. You gave them a quality of life that they may not have had if they weren't in your care. Not just my care, I mean the whole team's care. So I always think, you know, you've done your bit, and that person was okay.
Beautiful.
You know?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
It's looking for those glimmers of hope, or those glimmers of light, and the joy in those tough moments.
Yeah, and you do have to, it is a form of self-preservation. You have to think of the positives. You have to, and you know what? There's actually more positive than negatives. So, so think of it like that.
Brilliant. So it sounds like you're really good, like, say, with going in, like bringing the joy, bringing the energy, the light, managing your emotions. I'm curious to know, in terms of, say, boundaries, like, you know, between your own personal energy and professional energy, like can you just speak in and give one or 2 points about how you can actually leave, say, that energy in work, and then come home then and transition into family life and being a wife and being a mother then as well, and, you know, the day-to-day living and interactions with your family and friends? Yeah,
I find it, once I'm at work, I leave whatever's going on at home, and I concentrate on work. If it's a particularly tough day and I'm heading home and I'm a bit drained, Tony and the guys, they sense it. They sense it, and they just give me that little bit of space to take a breath and just get myself together. And then I not get myself together, but, you know, just have that moment, and I get work through it. But then in work itself, what I have done is I'm very fond of my residents, I care for my residents, but I love my family. I never say I love my residents, because I love my family and I care for and I'm fond of my residents, and that just gives me that boundary between the two worlds. I tend to, when we've had a loss in the home, I don't go, say, to every removal or every funeral, because it's a very, very personal time for the family. And at the end of the day, as much as they know me and they love everybody in Care Choice, we're not family. And I think you need to just distinguish that and not overstep the mark. Doesn't mean that you don't care, of course you care. You know, I'm very fond of all my residents and the families. You get to know all the families, you know, and you worry about them as much as you worry about the residents.
I know, you can get quite close to them.
Yeah, you can, and we're in the wrong job if we didn't.
Yes, you have to be very, you have to have that, it's almost like a calling, really, that type of work, I feel, like a calling.
Yeah, but you know, experience comes for a lot as well, you know, like I can teach the younger people in the staff, you know, in every department, just how to mind themselves a little bit more, you know, and learn to laugh at things. Don't take things too seriously, just go with the flow, just enjoy the moment, really.
Brilliant. Yeah, Thank you for sharing that and speaking into the energy of laughter and speaking into the energy of lightness. What we're going to do now is we're going to go for a break and we're going to listen to a really, really nice song, which I think is perfect for this show. So we're going to be listening to Be Young, Be Foolish, Be Happy by the Tams and the Jingle. And when we come back, we'll talk into more about the self-care for personal and family. Hello and welcome back. You're listening to the Live Well, Be Well Wellness Show, where we explore diverse ways to boost health, well-being and connection on Cork Community Radio Station 100.5 FM and live on cr.ie. I'm Deborah, your show host, and today we've been talking to Jenny Sheehan, the Activities Coordinator at Care Choice Montenotte. We've been discussing self-care, how to look after the residents, how to look after the elderly as well, listening to their needs, as well as looking after your own mental and emotional health. So, looking after the carer, coming back to yourself, when you're not working, what activities or hobbies bring you joy and help you to stay grounded?
Shopping. I love shopping all the time.
Lovely.
We shop all day and all night. Meeting up with my pal Caroline for a cup of coffee and a catch up and a chat. Just being out in the garden, just being out walking, just catching up with people really. I just totally relax with that. I like it. It's never a full day off when you're a mum, anyway.
That's true.
There's still school runs in.
Yes, what age are your, is it
16 and 21.
16 and 21.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, mommy taxi driver here and there.
Yeah, I don't mind it though. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
You get all the best news in the car.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Fabulous.
Yeah, so yeah, nothing huge or exciting, but just never, I don't overplan my day off.
Yes, I think that's important
because
then it always feels like another task or list of things to do as well. So I hear you there. It's about like allowing spaciousness. You know, and spending time with people that you love and that you care for, and that they love and care for you as well.
Yeah, it makes all the difference. And just give yourself a little bit of time. Just be kind to yourself. Give yourself 10 minutes in the day just to sit and do nothing. That's okay too. Beautiful.
And is there anything that you do, like say on a daily practice, that is good for your mental health?
Yeah, I suppose I probably do without even realising it. Every day I say thank you for what I have. Thank you for Tony and the girls and my home and my friends and my family and my support. And even if things go wrong, you know they're always still there. So every day I always have something to be thankful for. Always. So I just remind myself when things aren't going quite to plan, you know, that it's okay, it's alright, it'll all fix itself, and just take a deep breath and go again.
Fabulous. You love the power of gratitude, and I do think there's something very, very powerful and very like grounding in the sense of returning to appreciation and finding
absolutely.
Even like the smallest things, like say I'm grateful that I could put my feet on the floor today, I'm grateful that I'm awake, I'm alive, you know. These simple things. And say like with your family or even the residents, do you ever get the opportunity to speak in and talk about gratitude and, you know, like helping to be more appreciative, you know, with what they have, even through challenging times, I can imagine, but that it can actually help them to revive, you know, that sense of joy or that sense of contentment in their lives again by expressing and talking into gratitude?
I probably do without realising it. Like if somebody's having a low day, you'll always find something to make them smile and make them remind them what they're good at, you know. And just I think reminiscing as well reminds them of what they have and what they've had, and just to remind them how lucky they are to have all the experiences they do. And I always remind them of the support of their family as well. The family are always a huge support, and like it's a, you know, I said, aren't you looking? Oh, sure, there's somebody calling up to see you now today at such and such a time. Have you any news with them? And you just chat and talk and reminisce. They love it. No, but it just reminds them that they're all right, that they're safe and they're fine and they're loved and they're all right.
Beautiful.
You know?
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. And in terms of books and music and podcasts, do you have any interest in like books or music or podcasts or anything that you listen to that you find is inspirational?
For myself?
Yes, for yourself.
I always have music on, not any particular kind. I just always have the radio on. I love it, and there's always music in our house. The girls are into music, Tony's into music, so it's just good to play music and dance. I love. I'm into like crime books and thrillers.
What is it?
Crime
Crime
books.
books. That's an interesting one. Crime books and thriller
Well,
books.
it's total opposite to what I'm dealing with every day. I suppose.
True.
So it's a total just escapism, but I really do like them. One of my friends at work, Michelle Dunn, she's after getting a few books published, and they're absolutely fantastic, and I'm hooked. So her new one is coming out soon, so that'll be my next one. So that's and I just read in general. I like to read. I like to read. I love biographies, yeah. And then actually with the residents, we have this thing, it's called a memory box. And it was Margaret from the Cork City Library set it up for me, and she has all the old CDs, all the old music that they love, and all the old books with pictures of Cork and things they would have done when they were younger, and fantastic pictures of stuff that would have been around in their day and their nana's day. And I actually enjoy it as much as the residents, because you'd love hearing their stories and their memories of the pictures and stuff. So yeah,
Sounds gorgeous.
yeah, it is nice.
If the listeners then, if we have anybody listening who is caring for an elderly loved one, or like say maybe someone even in the neighbourhood, what is one piece of advice you'd give them to support themselves while they're caring for that person, and also the people that they might be looking after?
I'd say to support yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. You know, don't speak to yourself badly. Like, you wouldn't allow people to speak to you like that. Why would you speak to yourself and berate yourself all the time for not doing things perfectly or not knowing what to do? It's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Ask for help. There's help there, and people are so kind and want to help. So don't ever be afraid to ask for help or accept help. When somebody says, "Well, I do the shopping for you this week," go, "You know what? That would be really, really lovely." Then when it comes to the person that you're caring for, don't try and change them. They are who they are now. Be in the moment with them. Live with them and enjoy them. And be patient. Be kind, and just go with them and the time that they're in. And it'll work. It'll work. I won't say it's easy, but it'll work. Just be with them in their moment.
It sounds like what you're saying is to be present with them rather than being in your mind, being like, if I do this, this and this, and fix this and this and this, then that help them. It's more about dropping down, connecting in with your own heart, and actually being present with the person and listening to them. And that, and like in your experience, do you feel that by allowing yourself to do that, if you're a carer or even if you're someone supporting someone, being able to step into the heart and being present in the body and being present with the other person, that's really like the most special thing that you could gift somebody, that presence.
It's really rewarding. It really is genuinely lovely to be with that person and connect with them, and to be tactile, to hold their hand, to give them a hug, to wipe their face, to brush their hair. It doesn't have to be big, massive gestures or efforts. Something like that, looking directly at them, speaking to them, or them at them, or over them, and just going along, even what they're saying isn't quite making sense. Go with it. It's your arm. It's your arm. They're expressing themselves as best as they can, and like, you'll always learn something about somebody if you just sit and listen, because they've all lived a life. They've all had a family, and they've all fell in love, and they've all had a life, and listen to the stories, and they're quite fascinating. A lot of them are fantastic.
It sounds to me that when a person's able to be present and be with a person, it's almost like they receive that gift of learning so much from other people, which it sounds really, really beautiful, and is beautiful.
It is, and it's pure. You know, it's genuine, because you've given them all their attention. You get it back. You get it back in a lovely way. Beautiful. You know, and that's what makes you smile. It's a tough job.
It does. And speaking of smiling, has there been something that has made you smile this week, Jenny?
Every week, every single week, I will barely laugh. I just love my residents, like, and I think they're really funny, and they have no filter, so do not be sensitive whatsoever at all. But even like this week, now I was having my lunch in the canteen, and one of the residents came in with a slice of apple tart that he'd just got and thought I'd like it with my cup of tea. Because he saw it, you know, just something as sweet as that. And this other gent, he just said, "Oh, you're in the room. I like because I know we're going to be happy when you leave.
Mm.
Oh God, that sounded all wrong. But I know that really didn't come out right.
I'm sure the listeners understood.
Yeah, so like, we're happy when you're here.
Yes, yes.
And what I thought was lovely, he said, I feel seen, which is lovely.
Feel seen.
Yeah, I
that's
feel
so
seen, which is
important
lovely.
to
Yeah.
feel seen.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So that really went wrong.
That's okay. They all understand. So before we finish up as well, if you had one tip for any listeners today in how they could bring some wellness into their lives?
Be thankful.
Be thankful.
Laugh. Dance. Hug. Just listen. Enjoy the small moments. It doesn't have to be big things. And just don't be hard on yourself. Don't know it all. And like, don't be kind to yourself as well as others. I think we deserve it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jenny.
You're very welcome.
So today we've had the absolute pleasure of chatting to Jenny from Care Choice Montenotte. It's been absolutely amazing. You've touched on how to be present with the residents, how to be present with people that you're caring for, be it in your community, be it like a relative as well, the gift of presence, and also how to self-care as well if you are looking after somebody elderly as well. I'm sure the listeners have received some really, really great insights today. On next week's show, what we'll be doing is we'll be talking to Peter Duffy, who is a physical therapist and breathwork facilitator. Peter facilitates individuals experiencing chronic pain and emotional trauma through unique blending cutting-edge neuroscience, which is all working with the brain, as well as advanced somatic therapy, which is moving your body to move emotions and energy through the body. Next week you'll be in for a treat, so definitely make sure to tune in for that. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Have a great week, and until next time, be well, Deborah.